Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to a slightly different angle from normal. I got a new phone vlogging stand thing for my Christmas, so I'm kind of trying it out. Not sure if I'm going to stick to this or not. You might over the next few videos see a couple of different angles, or I might just play about with it off screen, but yeah, anyway, welcome back to my channel, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to do the 1001 Arabian Nights book tag. Rosika over at the Midnight Reader tagged me in this about a month ago. I kept kind of putting it off because I honestly didn't want to count my books, and that's one of the questions. But I did it, and you're getting it. So yeah, with the exception of two of the questions, which I had to sort of either count or physically figure out if I had or not done something, I've not put too much thought into my answers because I just want them to come naturally. So we'll see how it goes. So let's just get on into this. Got my trusty notepad as always. So yeah, the first question is 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? And these can be prize lists or challenge lists. Now, I tend not to. I like sometimes you get the BuzzFeed lists or the Times 100 best whatevers. I like going through sort of those lists, like the 101 books to read before you die sort of lists. I like going through those and seeing how much I've read, but I don't let them influence what I read. So if I've read 10 out of the 101 best fantasy novels, I've probably read more than that, but you know what I mean. If I've read 10 of that list a few years later, it might still be 10 because I'm not going to make a point of working through that list or any other list. I don't work very well to goals that are as set in stone as that or as rigid as that. So yeah, I enjoy going through lists, but I don't let them influence my reading. The next one, 1001 books. Now I missed the first word of this, which just says approximately. How many physical books do you read? Do you own, and how many ebooks do you own? I just saw how many and I counted. This number is influencing some of my reading goals for next year. So on my Kindle, I've got 222. Now a lot of those I've probably gained through BookBub. And they'll either, the vast majority of these will either have been free or they'll have been 99 pence or something. I don't spend a lot on ebooks. It's not I much prefer reading a physical book, so I grudge spending the money I would spend on a physical book for an ebook. Because I know that at some point, if I really like the book, I'm going to end up buying the physical one. And as for physical books, I own 491. That number's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of expecting around the 300 to 400 mark, not the almost 500 mark. Yeah. I own a lot more books than I thought I did. I don't know if I should be proud or ashamed. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I own a lot of books. Oops. So the next prompt is 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read 1001 Arabian Nights? I've not. I don't own it. I own a lot of books apparently, but I don't own that book. I don't think I've got any immediate plans to read it. I will probably at one point, but yeah, I haven't, and I'm not going to anytime soon. The next prompt, it's 1001 flavors. Do you have a favorite flavor? Pretty much anything with cinnamon in it. Cinnamon is a flavor from the gods. I adore cinnamon. There's this sort of traditional Scottish candy treat that we get up here. It's called a lucky tatty, which is basically hard cinnamon fondant coated in more cinnamon. They used to be big round tatty shaped, potato shaped, and they would have a little toy in them, which is why they were lucky. But then health and safety meant that they weren't allowed to put toys in foodstuffs anymore. Everything in a foodstuff has to be, safe for consumption. And then they became sort of like flat. They weren't round anymore. And now you get them. They can be about yay size or they can be yay size. And they are, if you don't like cinnamon, you're not going to like these. You're only going to like them if you love cinnamon. But, oh my gosh, they still are my favorite treat, even now. Yeah, so yeah, anything with cinnamon. Absolutely love cinnamon. 1001 pages. Have you read a book that is greater than 1001 pages? This was the other prompt I had to sort of like think and go, no, I've read quite a few big books, but they do tend towards the 800 to 900 pages. But I did find one. I first read this about 10 years ago. Now, it's kind of cheating because it's an omnibus. It's a trilogy and it's all 3 books in one edition, but I read it as one book. The last chapter of book 1 I just took as the end of a chapter. I didn't take it as the end of book 1. In the same setting, in the same reading, I finished the last chapter of book 1 and started the first chapter of book 2. And I had a commute at the time that was like a 4-hour round trip. I had a lot of reading time my first job out of uni. So yeah, I just treated this as one book, and that is The Deed of Paxnarian by Elizabeth Moon. I loved this book. I adored this book. If you want just a really pretty wholesome fantasy, there's a coming of age, it's setting out to find your place in the world, being who you need to be, being who you are, whilst facing the bad guys. Absolutely 100% recommend. I remember reading it at the time thinking, this is how fantasy should be written. This is how fantasy used to be. It has that very classic fantasy feel to it, and just some incredible characters and some amazing writing, and I just absolutely adored it. So yeah, that is my book. It's how big is this book? It is 2 seconds. I should have figured this out first. It is 1205 pages long. So if you want a big chunker, if anyone's doing like a chunky book challenge, this is a recommendation. It's a trilogy. It's technically cheating, maybe, but hey, make it your challenge. So the next one is 1001 Buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list, and what's on it? I don't really do bucket lists. I don't know. I think I don't really have much that, one day I would love to do that, because if there's something I want to do, then I'll just start working towards doing it. Do I have anything on a bucket list? I don't know. I know lots of people have bucket lists, and there might be an exception here, but no. I've got pipe dreams. I've got dreams that'll never come true, but I don't know if I've got bucket list items. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no for that one, because I really don't think I do. At least nothing that obviously springs to mind. So yeah. The next prompt is 1001 numbers. Do you have a lucky number, and is there a story behind it? So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a lucky number, but I do have a favourite number, and that is 7. And it's a nostalgia thing. My grandma, my mum's mum, her lucky number was 7. Anytime she was picking her lottery numbers or basically doing anything that involved a number, 7 was always it. And I think I now associate the number 7 with my grandma, and any time I think of my grandma, it's just warm fuzzy feelings, because she was an incredible woman she was like a second mum to me. So yeah, 7, because it has good connotations for me. It has good memories for me. That's on that page. Next is 1001 authors. Do you have a favourite author and a favourite genre? Anyone who has watched even 1 or 2 videos that I've made knows is going to be Robin Hobb. She will always be my favourite author. It would be very, very difficult for anyone to dethrone her. She is my queen. And my favourite genre is definitely fantasy. Fantasy is what I mean, if I hadn't been reading Robin Hobb and David Eddings, you can see behind me, when I was relatively young, it was like mid to late teens. So I was like 13, 14, I think, when I started reading them. So mid teens. Early teens? How would you classify 14? Interesting. Anyway, off topic. But yeah, if I hadn't been reading those, they're really what sparked my love of reading. And I was just devouring anything fantasy I could get my hands on at the time when I was younger. So yeah, definitely Robin Hobb and fantasy. 1001 activities. Do you have a favourite outdoor activity? Now, I'm not really an outdoorsy person. I own almost 500 books. It's pretty safe to say I'm an indoor person, I think. I'm definitely yeah, I'm a cozy indoor person. So outdoors, I don't like sort of like high energy, exciting things to do outside. You're not going to find me running a marathon. I did try running once, and I ran a 5K and I hated it. I couldn't. It was not good. But yeah, I like sort of like camera activities. I like going for walks, preferably sort of like in the woods. We've got a couple of fantastic walks up here in Inverness. Particularly like I live closer to Culloden, which is an amazing place to just go walking about. Yeah, spending time in a park with friends, reading in a park, but that's cheating because that's a bookish outdoor activity. Yeah, I like going ice skating sometimes. Technically it's inside an ice rink, but it's outside of the house, so it counts. Pre-pandemic, pre-world falling apart, I was starting to take up some ice skating lessons with our local club. It was a little awkward. I was pretty much the only adult, but I was really enjoying it. So I think maybe in a couple of months, when things start settling down again, I'm gonna invest in a pair of ice skates and maybe not so much go to the lessons, just because lots of little kids, but maybe go back to like some of just the public sessions. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. I love figure skating. So walking and ice skating. Those are outdoor things, right? There's really only one more. So that is 1001 book clubs. The original tag creator asked whether we think she should start a book club. Go for it if it makes you happy. There's always people around who want to chat about books, so yeah, go for it. Absolutely. And then the last bit is 1001 friends. Tag some friends. I think a lot of folk have already been tagged in this through various means, through various people. So I'm just going to leave this open-ended. If you enjoyed this tag and you think it would be fun to do it, consider yourself tagged. I'm curious to see what everyone's answers would be anyway. Yeah. This is definitely, it's Hogmanay, so this is definitely my last video of 2021. This has definitely been an exciting year. And I hope everyone has a lovely new year. And I will see you in January with some of my best of reading, some of my worst of reading. Most disappointing reads, I think, is what I'm going to go for, not worst. Worst is harsh. Worst is too harsh. Yeah, and I will probably make a video about some of my reading goals for the next year. So yeah, I hope you all have a lovely new year, a lovely Hogmanay if you celebrate, and I'll see you in the next video and in the new year. Bye!